What's up, BEATNIKERS? Welcome back to my channel once again. If you're new here, consider subscribing because I feel that my goal is to bring you the most delicious thinking and enhance your intellect to escape velocity. Let's start today's day. This whole story came to my mind when I was living in Dubai. We were sitting in like four guys talking about traveling abroad, traveling in general with the transportation system and everything. Actually, yesterday I was sitting down and thinking about how has everyone started traveling now with airplane. Otherwise, when I was growing up, traveling with airplane wasn't that big. People used to either choose to travel with bus or train or by taxis. Traveling with airplane used to be expensive at that time. Since the income of a middle class has gone up now, and that's why you see a lot of people choose airplane over a train now, these days especially, because it's more convenient and affordable, and it's also about a matter of time. But the reason I came up with this topic is I took my first flight ever in my life at the age of 22. I feel that there are a lot of people like me who are on the other side, have never seen airport, how it looks like from inside, or never traveled through by an airplane. That's the whole video about. I'm going to be walking you through different stages of airport until you sit in the airplane. It is important for me to give you a bit of background where I come from. Alright, I have a lot of empathy for people who have the financial problems because I myself have gone through. I come from a typical middle class family, and I mean typical thing, like for example, I remember we squeezing the hell out of this toothpaste until unless the last drop of toothpaste is out of that tube. If it was not enough, we used to cut that and put our toothpaste inside the whole thing and use it until and unless it's pure plain. I also remember that in the school times when my socks used to get loose, I used to put the rubber bands on that, and by the time I come back at home, my whole skin used to be red, like a whole ring, red thing there in the legs. So yeah man, I understand the sentiments of being a middle class, and that's why I feel that a lot of you guys may not have traveled, would have never traveled with airplane. Some of you may be coming here for your bachelor's, right? And how much you may be, like 18, 20, right? And you've not traveled ever, or if you're coming from a small town and you've never traveled, this video is exclusively for you guys. Alright, I'm in the majority with you guys. Let's start today's video. This is what the difference is, right? All of us, we book the plane in 12 hours, you know exact destination where you're going to reach, right? For example, in this case, since I come from Mumbai, I start my journey from Mumbai. So depending on what kind of flights are you taking, most of the time, as far as I know, nobody gets a direct flight, or even if you take a direct flight, it's gonna be super expensive. You at least have one stop in between, depending on what airline it is. So recently when I was in India, we came through Oman Air. We had to stop at Middle East in Muscat, and from there we had a flight to Munich, which is in the south, and then from Munich we had another flight to Berlin. In your case, when you're booking a flight, maybe to a totally different ticket. There is a Air France, for example, then you fly all the way to Paris, and then from Paris to Berlin if you're coming to Berlin. There's a lot of other connections, okay, depending on what flight you take, but I hope this is all afterwards. But before this, I hope you have measured your bags very well. As far as I remember, we never used to have those weighing electronic machines which are available nowadays on Amazon, or you can buy it from anywhere. What we used to do is, since we do not have a scale, we used to take this whole bag with me and my brother to the nearest Kirana store and weigh it there, because they have a huge machine where they can do this thing. So I used to segregate my whole items right there and then, because otherwise it's back and forth, home and then Kirana store. So I used to sort out everything what is extremely needed. I used to keep that in the bag. Otherwise, remove it. Make sure that if it's 23 kgs, it's 23 kgs. Where it says clearly airport layout, I'm going to explain you bit by bit. So this is completely for someone who has never gone to inside airport. There are gates, gate A, B, C, D, right where the cops are going to be standing. Make sure before you enter with your luggage, and when you're about to turn around and say goodbye to your family members, you have your ticket and your passport in your hand. Once you enter the gate, you will find counters of all the airlines. For example, Jet Airways, Air India, British Airways, Emirates, Etihad Airways, Air France, for example. So all the airline counters will be right here. Once you are at the check-in counter, next question which comes to my mind is, what happens at check-in counter? So once you're on check-in counter, you simply have to hand in your passport and your ticket to the person sitting there. And the purpose of going to check-in counter is to submit your check-in luggage. Now there are two kinds of luggage. One is cabin baggage, one is check-in luggage. Check-in luggage is the big bag, the heavy luggage which you're carrying. You will submit to this counter, and this luggage can only be collected on your actual destination, wherever you're traveling. And the other main purpose is to get the boarding pass. Boarding pass is extremely important. Without this, you will not be able to clear further stages. You will not be able to enter in the aircraft. You will get a boarding pass. So if there is a layover, for example, you're flying from Mumbai to Abu Dhabi and from Abu Dhabi to Munich, so you will get 2 boarding passes, or if there are 2 changes in between, then you will get 2 boarding passes. If there is 1, then you get 1. Then you have 3 total documents in your hand: your passport, your ticket, and your boarding pass. Try to carry a small pouch where you can keep all the documents on and off. Once you have done submitting your bag, proceed to next step. And the next step in this case is security. So you have submitted your bag somewhere here, depending on which airlines you have, and now you're at security. Then the question comes in, what happens at security? Security in general is nothing but scanning everything. Now I want you to visualize everything what I'm talking. You have given your heavy bags at the counter. Now you only have the rucksack, which is the backpack, and your laptop bag with you. When you're leaving the counter, well, they will eventually give you, but just for your information, you have to tag your bags. They have a tag for airlines. I will tell you now why, what is the reason. So once you are at this security counter, you have to remove your jacket if you're wearing one. You have to remove all the coins and money and mobile phone, wallet, everything. The pockets have to be completely empty. Only you need to carry your tickets, your passport, and boarding pass. Rest, everything will go in the scanner. There will be scanner, there will be officers sitting there. They will scan everything, and on the other side, so for example, if this is a metal detector, you have to pass that. Once you go through metal detector, that's where your bags are. Once this officer standing there, he will scan you everything. And for ladies, they have a separate section. Gents, they have separate section. This officer will scan you, put a stamp by security that you have passed this stage, go to the next stage. And they will also check your tags on the bag, on your laptop bag, on your rucksack. They will put the stamp there. If there is no stamp by airlines, then they will put a stamp on your bag right there. Once you have cleared this security stage, you will proceed towards immigration counter, immigration bureau, IB. Now the big question is, what happens at immigration? In my experience, I've never had any bad experience with immigration officers. They ask you simple questions like, where are you traveling? Are you really the real person who's traveling, or are you going on a fake passport or ID? They try to, investigate a bit. Nothing too intruding, something which actually makes you uncomfortable, nothing like that. They just want to make sure that this person who's traveling is the right person. They will also ask you, what are you going to study? What subjects are you aware? What is your background like? So depending on the answers what you give them. So if you give them very straightforward answers, they will let you pass. The whole immigration area, once you cross that, you have left the border of this country. Let me explain you, wait. Since I started this thing by explaining that I'm in Mumbai, so right here, this is the immigration counter. Once I cross this, the only thing which is left is directly go and sit on the flight. But this is also one of the reasons international flights ask you to come before 2 hours. Right? Because all those things you have to go through, and they want to make sure that you're on time, not you're arriving actually when the flight is about to leave. Alright? Once you pass this, there is going to be, I can't even imagine, like, name a brand and you will find a huge massive shops. You will also find duty frees where you can buy alcohol, perfumes, any cosmetic items, all the Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, Supreme, etc, etc. You'll find everything. You'll find food court. Now you simply have to do one thing, which is patiently sit down in the area somewhere, or in fact on the boarding pass also there'll be gate mentioned, gate number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check your boarding pass all the time. I didn't have much space, but there's a huge difference between where the aircrafts are standing, where the gates are, and where the immigration is. Okay, I go through this, I go and sit right outside, for example, gate number 6. So I sit outside. There are chairs where you just have to simply sit there. Yeah, wait for your turn and then enter the aircraft. That's it. Yeah, finally you're sitting in the aircraft. You're gonna enjoy the flight. It's going to be one of the lengthiest flights if you have ever had, if you're traveling for the first time. And I wish you guys all the best, man. I think I would like to end this vlog. The only reason I made this whole video is because I thought like, wait, I traveled at the age of 22 out of country, and there would be many like me who have never seen an aircraft, how it looks like. They've never seen an airport, so to say, you know. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. I would honestly appreciate so much. And if you can share this within your own community also. Yeah, I would like to say goodbye for now and take care. Bye bye.